Hey everyone, it's Young Skeleton here again, and today I wanted to make this Final Fantasy War Divisions tier list. So, sure, let's set up the rules, right? First of all, only URs. They're the most viable units in the game. There are definitely some MRs that are almost in the same level as URs and are better actually than some URs. And I honestly believe that you can use to a certain degree of success like any MRs. But I wanted to focus on URs because they are the bread and butter of most most comps. I feel like. What else? I'm gonna make sure to make very clear which units I have experience fighting against, or just fighting as, or like if I did both or whatever. Also, I'm gonna take into consideration not only the unit itself, of course that's a huge part, right? But also how much support the unit currently has. For instance, ice units have their ice weapons, and like water units have the water ring and the water card siren, and this type of stuff, right? How much espers are good for the unit. I'm gonna try to take all of that into consideration as I make this tier list. As you can notice, Kane is not in here. I'm making this Tuesday before Kane is actually released, so I'm not gonna talk about him or Rosa. I don't think like there's a point of talking about them, so I'm just gonna skip him. I think you can update the template, so when I make a new tier list with Kane, I'm gonna upload him to this list that it's currently here. So I think it's a good time to make because I've had time with Cecil now. I could really try him out for a bit. So yeah, let's start. And right at the start, I'm gonna do a controversial pick and put Cecil at S tier. Oh yeah, one last thing. This doesn't mean that Cecil's the best S tier. I just think that he is S tier right now. Why do I think he is S tier? Uh, because he is just way too good versus physical comps. Uh, you can you can fight like any comp that's like three physical attackers. Cecil just makes it so much easier because of his barrier and his attack debuff. And he is kind of like Agrius in a sense where he's a good support, he's a tanky unit. He's not as tanky as Agrius, but I think he attacks better than Agrius. He has good debuffs, although not status effects like Agrius. And his physical barrier is just way too useful to ignore. I think that and the 40% attack debuff are enough to put him in S tier. What else? He has other stuff like his TMR is really good, and he gets like awesome slash resistance. So he's also a very good pick for slash resist teams. Like if you missed out on Orlando's TMR and you have not yet got Ayaka's TMR, like Cecil's a free unit that has like that same effect. Again, I don't want to repeat myself, but he has a shield of staffs that he can cast in an AoE like on anyone. I think he is just bonkers, really strong. And talking about Agrius, boom, S tier again. Again, I've talked about Agrius a few times already, but she has everything. She just does everything. The only thing that she's lacking is hate generation, but you don't really need that. If you really want it, you can use Valve Love. I really think that she is S tier, no cap. So let's continue with the trend. Warrior of Light. I think he's like at the bottom of S tier right now. I don't think he's as good as he was before. I think that right now we are gravitating towards comps without a tank, and his weaknesses have become more apparent over time. But he is still a beast. Still the best tank in the game. And who else? Thancred. I think he's at the bottom right now. I don't think he's a bad unit, but nobody plays him. So it's kind of hard to evaluate. But like, the thing is, he's a cost 100 unit, and he doesn't have what you expect from a cost 100 unit like Gilgamesh and Super Stern. Uh, when his second master ability comes, I feel like he'll get better, definitely better. But like right now, he's just not that good. I'm sorry, but he is really good. Talking about cost 100 units, they are both S tier, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned this, but disorder means nothing. But yeah. Oh. Uh. Yeah. Gilgamesh is S tier for sure. Uh, his slash resist break is so strong because it is much better than a slash resist pierce. Uh, because slash resist break actually just reduces slash resistance. As far as I'm concerned, as far as I know, as far as I can tell, you can make negative slash resistance with Gilgamesh. And I think he's the only character that can do this currently. Yeah, he is really hard to level, which makes him a bit harder to place higher in the tier list. But if you can manage to get a level 99 Gilgamesh, like he is a very strong unit. Very strong unit. So let's talk about Super Stern right now, because he's also S tier. He's like Gilgamesh. He has what you want from a cost 100 unit. Like his stats are just phenomenal. The thing is, like they're both just slash attacks. No, Gilgamesh has Time Mage, so he can cast magic as well. But Super Stern can only cast can only use slashing attacks. But he is really strong when it comes to that. Like if the other team is not a full slash resistance team, I don't think Super Stern. I mean, not that he can't lose, but he will just go crazy. I really do think that he is really strong. Him and Gilgamesh are probably the two best units in the game. Like if you only count raw stats, and they also have a lot of support because they are well dark and ice, which are two elements that are really strong, and slashing attackers. And recently we have also got like a lot of great sword users buffs in global with the new cards, Exorcist. I think that you can't go wrong with them. And also Super Stern was easier to max, I believe, because well, Gilgamesh is a unit that is is in the game since the launch, and if you didn't get him at launch, you like it was really hard to level him. And Super Stern was released like after that, when people were already more how do I say this? When people understood more about the game, so I feel like it was easier to max him. That's why I think he's a bit better, but yeah. Who else? Who else is S tier? Glaciella. Glaciella is just so strong. So strong. Like, I think that she can only be countered by Frederica right now, and even then, I have Glaciella, but I've never used her. And when I fight against her, I don't really need to go for Frederica. Frederica is not my best unit. I would rather counter her with magic damage. I mean, counter between quotation marks. It's not really a counter of hers. I don't think so, but I do think that Glaciella, like against slashing units, she's just bonkers. Her TMR is amazing, and like she has like instant jumps, which are okay, but also like uh, d being up in the air is a reason why jump is so good. So I do believe that Glaciella like is really strong. Like another thing that she has going for her is that she has like Monk sub job. Monk sub job is amazing because nobody builds a strike resistance. Pierce resistance is also already kind of hard to defend from, like unless you're playing Engelbert. But yeah, Glaciella is just really really good, really really solid unit. Uh, she has like a lot of support, and you can even use her along with Miranda or Hildera and have like a and use a what's the name of the card? Siren card and have like a good mix of physical and magic deck, so it's like so it's not that easy or simple to defend against you in guild battle or to attack your team in guild battle. Uh, I, like when she released, I definitely slept on her. I didn't think she was as good as most people did, but I stand corrected. I'm not afraid of admitting that. She is really strong, and I'm not leveling her right now because I have other priorities, but I really do. Especially if I don't pull Kane. If I don't get Kane, I'll definitely go hard on her shards after I finish Giza. Um, who else is S tier? Hildera, for sure. Water element. Like after Glaze Shallow was released, water element units were suddenly much stronger because, like of what I said, uh, the all the water units are pretty strong. The water URs and like the fact that you can like use Siren and have a comp that's hard to defend or hard to attack in guild battle. So like it's not as easy as picking like the right tank and just going in. I really feel like that makes like these two especially S tier. Like Udira is just like she can be a magic tank. She's just that good. Like you can put her as a spellblade and have her take like mid 3-digit damage, like 500 damage from a flare, which is insane. Is there anyone else that's? Oh, of course there is. Kilfei. Like I feel Kilfei is just so strong. Like he is one of those units that is super low maintenance. Like you can build her full defense and she will still like one shot a lot of people. Like her holy is just insane. Her her limit burst is like crazy damage and lowers magic defense. It's crazy to think that a unit can invest so little in attack and still be that strong. And she only seems to get stronger with Halloween Ryu. I think that her power jumped even higher, even though her holy, which is probably her main source of damage in a lot of fights, doesn't really get buffed by Ryu. Uh, if you manage to land a what's the name? An energy buster on two guys and you have Halloween Ryu on your party, damage is just so high. Uh, what else? If you like, if you manage to to fight a team with only physical attackers, you don't really like her physical barrier does so much of the work, so much of the work. Like it is actually crazy how much damage Killfei deals with w- with like minimal investment, and like how tanky she is versus physical attackers with also minimal investment. You can just use her fucking barrier, and that's it. Who else? Yeah, Halloween Ryu, is he S tier? I feel like he is. I'm not as impressed as the Japanese are with him, but I do think he is really strong. Uh, the fact that I mean, I do think Earth units aren't as strong right now because there aren't as many Lightning units that are in the meta. The only reason why I'm actually putting him in S tier is because Orlando is just so omnipresent still in global. Like, I know that Orlando is a good unit, but I think he has kind of overstayed his welcome. Not because, oh, I hate Orlando, but just because I don't think he is like as universally overpowered right now. Again, I do think you'd be stupid to like say that Orlando is weak or power crept, but I don't know. I think global players are just way too stubborn to adapt and just refuse to use him. Uh, I mean the opposite, refuse to stop using him. I think that the only reason why he's up here is because Orlando's is like presence in global is just way too strong. Like Kilfei, yeah, she's a counter to Orlando, but she's also a counter to so many of like she beats like this guy, which is so important right now, and she's also very good against all other slashers. Um, but yeah, Halloween Ryu is just like an awesome unit. He reminds me of Miranda, but a bit better. Yeah, like offensive powerhouse with the courage buff, which is kind of like Kane. Reminds me of Kane, right? I do think Halloween Ryu is extremely strong in these circumstances. But until they release new like a new lightning unit, like there's this caveat, right? He is up here just because. Sorry. Just because Orlando is just so like overrepresented, overrepresented. I don't know. Just because Orlando is overused in global. Talk about the man himself, A tier. I think he he is extremely versatile. You can just put him in any comp, but like he has the slash defense break, and you don't really need like a lot of support for him to do his thing. But there are just way too many strong Earth units right now, and yeah, like the thing is, everyone always expects Orlando, right? Even water units, like there is a water unit that counters him, Glaciella. Uh, so I think that kind of hurts him. I don't really think he needs a buff. I just think that the meta doesn't really favor him at the moment. Killfei, the fact that Killfei is also very like present in the game, I feel like global players slept on her because I don't see as many Killfeis as I thought I would. Like Orlando is still more popular than Killfei in global. I feel like that's not like a thing that I can say for certain, but I feel like Orlando is still a character that's more used than Killfei. Uh, but again, that's the only thing that hurts him. The fact that everyone is just expecting him, and oh yeah, you can just defend against him. Like he is so strong that he can brute force his way in, even like and under those circumstances. But yeah, like you shouldn't be losing to Orlando a lot of the time, just because like you can always expect him to be there. Mm. Another S tier actually, Rain. I feel like with Cecil, Rain becomes an S tier, and like he goes above Engelbert and is only below like Warrior of Light as I think. Just because he has like a hate generation skill that also gives him a shield, and like with Cecil on his team, he can also defend very well against physical attackers. That's my experience at least. Like I have not have trouble with defending against physical attackers as I used to have with him. Um, so yeah, here's an example of a character like going higher because another unit that seemingly doesn't have anything to do with him was released, right? It's not a counter, but it's a unit that is so strong with him that I feel like Rain. I feel like before this patch was kind of like in a not in a bad spot. He was still like top of A tier, but I feel like with Cecil he made the jump. He's still so good. He's still like so really strong. Who else? Let me see. Well, talking about Engelbert, I feel like he is still A tier. Um, like he does so much damage. He has mock sub job, and like he can tank physical attackers like no one else. Like he can do like amazing pierce resistance builds. I have fought against some. Like I dealt like one damage with my Victor against an Engelbert already, so that was kind of insane. But yeah, I feel like he's only lacking hate generation. And he like I think like that him and Agrius are the reason why Vow of Love is still used because they're so good with Vow of Love. Yeah, if Engelbert got a second master ability that let him generate hate or like a when EX jobs come around, like if he can generate hate, I think that he'll jump in popularity like really high. Talking about older units, Medina. I feel like I want to put her in S tier because I do think she is S tier, but I think that she is dependent on equipment. You really depend on equipment for her to like really reach her potential. Like she needs like a good TMR skill to really be good. The way that I was using her a while ago was with Rain and Hildera actually. I gave Medina Rain's clothes and had Hildera cast what's the name of the fucking ability? Resist magic. Medina. Yeah, Hildera cast resist magic. Medina cast Guardian's Fighting Spirit, and Rain pulls aggro, and I only fight against mages. That was a fun comp to do. But yeah, because again, like she is kind of an Orlando type of character. She she set like the expectations for mages like when the game came out and she was the top tier mage, like she set the expectations, kind of like Orlando did with physical attackers. Kind of warped the game and the mentality of a few players a little bit too much, I think. But yeah, like a lot of people stopped using her, but I still think she is really strong. And if you're not fighting Rain, she is still like a huge threat. Oh yeah, I forgot to put her here. Let's put her besides Hildera. Like calculators are just such a powerhouse. Like they like the job itself is so strong. Like calculator main job seems to be like a recipe for success for the unit. Like if you have like a unit with calculator main job, yeah, it is. It is really, really strong. Uh, they're both strong in different ways, but they're both really strong. I think Little Leela is a bit better than Hildera because she is a bit more versatile, but Hildera is already like so versatile, so strong that I don't think she belongs in A tier. Like, and she is good for so many things. Like so many comps you can just slap any of those two and have like a very good healer and damage dealer and damage dealer. Uh, Also helps that they both have access to like elemental damage up cards. Like with Ildira you have Siren, and with Little Leela you have Tetrasulfid, so you can make mixed teams with like both magic and physical attack. I feel like uh, I feel like they're both like top like impossible to argue that like to disagree with someone that says that they're both top tier. And thank God I didn't see a lot of double calculated comps in global yet. Hopefully I'll never see. That seems like ass to fight against. Mm. Lucia, I feel like she's an artificially strong character right now. Like just because these two are S tier and are very popular, I feel like Lucia is really strong just because she can kind of fuck up these two. Unless Qfei like is fully built to tank like ranged attacks, she's not really surviving more than two attacks from Lucia. I do think she is really strong, really, really, really strong. And if we ever get what's the name of the unit? Bikini Lilith, I think that then like Raryu and Kyofei will get even stronger, and then she will get even stronger then. We do have a lot of ice units to keep her in check, so that's why I'm kind of hesitant between like top of A tier or like bottom of S tier. Like she's kind of like Raryu, situationally over here. But yeah, but Raryu also like when Liv comes out, he will be like more cemented in here. So like for now, they're actually uh, what the hell? Oh, okay. No, this is what I want. S minus. No, S. Add row below. S minus, I think. Or A plus. A plus. Like they're definitely above these, but aren't really cemented over here. Let's see. So yeah, Lucia, I haven't used her a lot. I only in PvE, like in PvP, I have not used her. Same thing with these two. I don't think I mentioned that these three. I don't think I mentioned that I've never used these three in PvP, but I fought against them a lot. With her, same thing. I fought against her like all the time. Right now, she's not as popular because of the like amount of ice units that are circulating, and but I think like she should still be really powerful just because of the Earth units. Right now, I think he is not as popular as he was when he released, but I do think he's really good just because he can counter him, and like his damage is really strong, and he elevates skill Fei even more. So that's like the fact that he works good with skill Fei puts him in a higher tier already. Um, so there's that. But yeah, Lucia, definitely a plus character. And when Bikini Lilith comes out, I think she'll be cemented as S tier again. Who else is who else should I talk about? This guy, same thing. He's not A. He's either A plus or S tier. I'm gonna put him as S tier because I think he's kind of like Venera but better. The reason why I don't think he's used more is because his katana is such a fucking pain in the ass to farm. And I really wanted to play Laswell. I really wanted to, but I decided to not even attempt pulling him because I was not in the mood to farm Shiden. So I just said never mind. But he is really strong. Like he is one of those units that people in global don't use a lot. But he's definitely popular in JP. And like I remember once I was gonna fight him and he was like fucking level 79, I think. And I don't remember which. I think he used his limit burst, and he like his it dealt so much damage to my Gilfane. I was like, what the fuck, dude? No, I think he almost killed my Halloween Raryu. I think that's what he did. Um, but like again, like his defect is that his weapon is so hard to farm. I think. If there was a way to farm it that wasn't like a slog, like of the slog of the raid, I would have probably gotten him, but yeah, he's still really good. But an unpopular character for sure. Who else is A plus or A or S or whatever? Who do I want to talk about next? Venera. Venera's A plus for sure. Like she is so evadey, and like they don't fucking stop nerfing evade units like in teams releasing more accuracy equipment and cards, but evade is just always there. Like if you're not prepared, you're just stomped by it. Uh, like Finera is not only strong for that, but she can ignore defense, which is a way that a lot of characters get their survivability, like through defense, and like she can just ignore that. Not everyone, a lot of characters like go for resistances instead. I think that it's getting better and better for resistances, but like otherwise, she can just fuck him up. Most MR tanks, they melt when she attacks them. She destroys Rain because Rain's only way to really tank physical attacks is um with physical defense, like Platinum Robe and what's the name of the other equipment? Well, Wolf Mask and also the Leonis card, Leonis Castle card. And she can just not care about that, ignore 50% of that defense. So I think that she is definitely A plus. She is not S tier just because like Killfei exists, and like Killfei is also very popular, and also other units like Lucia and Frederica are kind of a bother. Like she can build missile resist and kind of tank them, but then it's hard to build what's the name of to build evade if you're also gonna build missile resist. So there's that. But like it's kind of like Orlando, where despite all of the shit that they release to nerf the character like indirectly, they are still very much powerful and very much usable in PvE and PvP. Who do I want to talk about next? Let's do some Mizzy. She's unusable. Like, truly in a tier of her own. Like that's how bad she is. Actually, he's B tier. Because you know who's C tier? Uh, Rob. Rob's good in PvE, but in PvP, like his range is just kind of poopy. He has good damage. He does have like a high damage value, but that's just a problem when he can't hit anyone before they hit him. With EX jobs, it seems like he'll become a better PvP character. Let's hope. Um, Iton is also down here. Uh, I don't know, like Ninja main job seems like a bad deal for me. The fact that she doesn't have like her best way to play is as a drain force character and she doesn't have like high HP kind of tells you how she is. She could definitely use like she's one small buff away from being really strong. I'm looking forward to her EX job. Uh, Giza, like her only place in this game is as a niche character, and she's probably the best out of C tier. Like if um, but like Kiton is definitely like the best character between quotation marks because like she's just one small buff away from being a really great character. But right now she's just like not doing it and she can't really keep up with other attackers. Um, but like Giza it's just bad design. I feel like Monk like it's just like monks just have no clear role and they don't excel at anything. Like her only niche is as a attacker that will catch the opponent off guard, you know. Ha! Strike attack, surprise, you know. But other than that, yeah, I feel like she doesn't really have a place. Kind of like Kitone, like she's one small buff away from being like really great. Hoping that her EX job buff makes her more viable, but yeah, I'm really not feeling her. But I really do hope that I can use her because I love her. I really think she's a cool character. Uh, Yerma, I think she's B tier, like along with him. Viking is definitely a good job. I really think Vikings are strong. Um, and she, like her element's really good too. But again, she's definitely usable. Like I think that C and D tier characters, like you just are not getting like the same like bang for the buck. You know, you have to put a lot of effort, and you're not getting a character that is as usable in as many situations, and maybe it's not even the best at the situation that you're preparing for. So yeah, Yerma is definitely like very usable. From B tier and upwards, I feel like the effort is worth it to like make their equipment and farm. Yerma right now doesn't have like someone to share her weapon with, so kind of feels bad to make a character to make a like +5 golden axe just for one character that isn't even that strong. But I feel like in the future, yeah, like these characters are one small buff away from being A tier, maybe A plus. She is one small buff away from being S tier because she's like for sure not bad, for sure not bad. Again, I have never played her. All these characters I played with, I mean not Kitone, but like just looking at her numbers, I don't think she's really keeping up. Like it's kind of like what Cabbage always says, like attackers nowadays need some type of break or defense ignore. And she has the non-attack type attack, like the Koton, I think it's called, but that's just not enough. Her numbers just aren't high enough. Yama, she's one small buff away from being S tier. Like Viking is such a good class. And what are her jobs? Let me take a look in the other screen. Yerma, where are you, baby? What? Here it is. She's not in thief, so does she get steel heart? No, she does not. Well, she has thief passives and a Viking sub job has a war cry and launch. So, I mean, she's for sure a unit that has a way to be played, right? And also her, Rob, and Elde, they all have like extra crit chance attacks, and there are a few crit damage cards in the game. I feel like there could be something here that like in the future will be really strong, like hey, guaranteed crit builds. Oh no, let's hope and see. Talking about Elde, also C tier, one small buff away from being like great. And I feel like he could be a good tank. He definitely has tank stats and good damage. He could be like an Engelbert. Again, he's one small step away from being A tier. Let's hope that like his EX job. I mean, actually his EX job was already released and he's not really a tank, but he does deal a lot more damage. I'm not sure how his range is right now or mobility. Uh, Maybe he'll jump from C to B tier, but yeah, looking rough for him. I think the last low tier between quotation marks character, Eileen. Uh, she's definitely kind of like Hilde. She does deal a lot of damage. Um, and her biggest problem is that she doesn't have like a lot of mobility. She has slashing damage too, if you want to build her that way. Um, and she has even strike damage with body slam because she is also warrior. Has like a discipline which raises her attack a lot. Um, what else? I think that's it. Like her biggest problem is range, but there's a vision card coming with a vision ability that should improve her and King Elde really well uh, in the future, like the near future. Who else can we talk about now? Ramza, A tier, maybe A plus. Not sure. Like his buff is really good, and the fact again that he can cast magic and physical and non-damage type attacks. Koton, Doton, forgot the name. But the attack that is not slashing magic or anything. No, he's a versatile unit, like for sure. For PvP, I think he's just A. Um, Again, his damage just doesn't keep up. You're using him to make other characters have like extra damage, and like his damage isn't that low. Like he's not a bad character, you know. But the fact that uh like you're using him for cleanup, that's basically like you're having him cast shout, maybe magic resist, and then move forward and clean up whoever's left. But he's definitely has a niche, and you can slap him in any team. It's just that like there are better units for just slapping on like most comps. Um, who else? Ayaka. I feel like she fell from grace. She's still really strong, don't get me wrong, but she's just not overpowered anymore. She has. It's not that Leela power crept her. I think that she hasn't been as strong for a while now, and Leela, just like because she has the better damage capabilities, she's better in more teams than her. I feel like. The fact that she has haste and non-elemental attacks and holy is still a big plus for her. So she's not like power crept or anything, but she is a unit that is that isn't as strong as she was when the game came out. Um, where do I wanna put Victora? Um, too much of a glass cannon, like, and I don't know if you want to use her with a tank. I mean, you can, but like if you use her with a tank, it's not that she doesn't deal enough damage. She explodes characters, but the fa she doesn't deal damage fast enough because she has to charge. Uh, and that is sometimes like a really hard downside to overlook. So, and she's not really good as a bruiser, not as good as you would want her to be. Like Glacial is a better bruiser, and as a glass cannon attacker, the Dragoon is an unfortunate choice for a sub job. She's still really good, uh, if you can manage to pull aggro away from her, but it has to be like a very specific build. But like, maybe she is a plus, maybe. No, I don't think so. But like she is another reason why certain win characters aren't as highly rated. Again, she's Ice Element, really strong element. She has access to Ice Lance. Maybe she's a plus just because of the Ice Lance. Or maybe she's not B just because of the Ice Lance. Hmm. It's a good dilemma. Not sure if she's A plus or A. Nah, she's A. She's A. Frederica, like her damage might not be as high as the other gunner, like Luartha and oh yeah, I've used a lot of Victora. Oh yeah, I did. Same with Ramza. I have not used her a lot. I have not used her a lot. And Fred, I've used her quite a bit. I think that in PvP she has her place as an anti-high faith physical defensive unit, like kind of like Agrius or Killfay. Like she can disable them, like hit them with status effects. And Barrage is like a very powerful ability. She's almost a plus just because of the way that she can kinda counter Glaciella. I mean, she's not really a counter to Glaciella, but she's very good versus Glaciella. And that kinda uh, holds her really high, but no, actually, I'm confusing it. Like Glaciella has like 10% or 15% weakness to missile attacks. So yeah, she's a good counter to Glaciella, but other than Glaciella, she counters Hildera like very well, and I'm not sure if she counters let me take a look over here. If she counters Miranda or not. How good is Miranda versus ranged attacks? No, yeah, she's a good counter to all water units. Yeah, maybe she's a plus. But not everyone uses more than one water unit, I feel like. Well, she's a solid A character at least. Uh, she's like her damage isn't that high, but like in the versus the units that she counters, she's just so strong that I don't think she can be considered lower than A tier. Um, Stern is A tier. I haven't used him a ton. I'm still leveling him up. Have not used him in PvP at all, but the fact that he has access to Dragoon Job, like, it's really crazy. Like, he gets like crazy range, and he gets access to like another type of damage. That is really valuable. I really do think that Stern is a unit that is underrated right now. And he is definitely one unit that I want to use. Kind of more than Super Stern, actually. Hmm, this is getting kind of hard. I think Miranda is also like almost A plus. Like she is really good, really good. Like she just for her time mage. No, actually, she's like A plus just because of time mage. She can also like play paladin and just be a nuisance with immortal spirit. She gets healing. It's like she's kind of like do it all character. Physical damage, like yeah, her attack's not that high, but you can build her for attack. I've seen it. I've seen it. And I was a victim of it because my brain was definitely not expecting it, that taunting blade to hit so hard. Um, but she gets like the physical slash attacks, magic attacks. She gets the piercing attack with what's the name of the attack? The attack resistance break, which is kind of an awesome attack. That like, it is really strong. I don't see people talking about as much as they should. I feel like it has poor range, but if she manages to hit someone with that, like if they were like not a super tanky unit, they'll take like so much extra damage from magic attacks. It's kind of insane. Um, I'm not sure if he's S tier. Maybe, I mean, he counters Earth units, which are really strong. But again, he's kept in check by the huge amounts of ice units that are floating around. I think that he's only not higher in this list because of the excess of ice units in the game. Like Agrius fucks him up real bad actually. Gilgamesh destroys him. Victor is probably good against him. Miranda is probably good against him if she manages to hit her limit burst on him. Hmm. Lasso probably evaporates him if he's not using his own TMR. But even if he is, Lasso still has the advantage. Again, he what is he waiting for? Like, probably when Larudo comes out, he's gonna be like elevated because Larudo will keep ice units in check. No, underrated unit actually. He should be the one keeping ice units in check. Um, he's probably only not like being this unit that is keeping water units in check. And just because a lot of people pulled for Agrius and not for him, you know. But I do. He's more he's more popular here in global than he was in JP. But he definitely doesn't get the love that he deserves. The Lita like is a unit that could like work with Halet, but just because but also he's kept in check by the water unit, so that's kind of rough. But still, like a Frederica, Delita, and Halet team could be pretty strong. And you know, that's kind of it, like the rock paper scissors of the game. But uh, But I do think that a Howlet Delita team like could be really strong. So like you can hunt for Earth units and not be scared of Ice units. Just be careful with Water units. And that's it. Um, who else? Probably the best reinforcer in the game. But again, that's kind of a niche role. Has access to Viking. Like all of her jobs are amazing. I feel like Odoa, again, she's one buff away from being S tier. But unfortunately, her EX job buff was not that buff that she needed to become like actual S tier. She's just even more of a niche now. That's unfortunate. But I do think that she is a very strong unit. Can do evade, can do tanky, and the reinforce build is just insane. Really good. Um, is she A or A plus? I think that she's A plus after her AI buff actually. Now that she actually behaves like like artificial intelligence and not artificial unintelligence, she's actually pretty good. And another unit to counter ice units, not ice units, wind units. Um, if Howlett becomes more popular, he will definitely be a good counter to him. As good, maybe even better than Agrius. But yeah, she's a very powerful unit. More powerful than a lot of people give her credit for, and for sure a unit that I would like to get in the future, but I'm not sure of when I would like to get her. There are other units that I just want more, but she's a cool unit, like for sure. Who else? These two. Yeah, kind of no-brainer. They're both A tier. I have not played him at all, but I like he's a less tanky Killfei, right? He deals more damage than Killfei for sure, and he can even kill Killfei, like if she's not specking in magic resistance, just because he has access to flare, and he casts faster than Killfei. He also has access to time mage, and the only reason why I don't put him in A tier is because his speed is he's not as fast as sorry, he's not faster than Miranda. I am pretty sure that he's not. No, actually, he is faster than Miranda. Yeah, I'm taking a look here. He is faster than Miranda. Um, well, is he A plus then? Or are the Earth units a bit too much? Not sure yet. I'll leave him at A because it's the safe thing to do. But yeah, I think he's really good. He's better than most people give him credit for. And Whisper, solid A tier. She is a very powerful unit, but like she requires a lot of work to make her as strong as she can be. Just because um, like you need to build resistances for her. I'm actually building her right now. I'm hoping to get her to level 89 and see like how she is. But yeah, this is my tier list. Again, it's not in in order, so like he's not the best A tier, A plus tier. He's not the best S tier character. Um, he is not the best B tier character. Maybe, I mean, maybe he is, but not a coincidence. And This is just for PvP, like in general, like arena, guild battle, not taking in consideration units' ability to do anything else other than fight each other. This is my experience. I don't think any unit is unusable, but I think that units in like B tier and above are the ones that I would invest in. C and below, like with the exception of Giza for her TMR, like it's not really worth it. Unless you really like the unit, you can always make them work. But yeah, let me know down in the comments what you think. If you think I'm capping, if you disagree with my opinion on any of those. And yeah, that's gonna be the video. Kind of a long one, but I enjoy making those videos. So yeah, hope you had fun. See you later. Bye bye.